I apologize. I got a phone call during this lecture. I was when I was recording it. So let me continue. So with that, yin and yang, just remind us that whatever we are having these difficulties or problems, that we all should encourage ourselves. There is something is this will continuously evolving and changing, and we should put ourselves with that mindset of the flowing of the changes. So let you be more confident that not to be depressed by any hardship or difficulties, whatever whatever it bothers you at this moment, because the reality is not permanent. That's tied to with our Buddhist understanding of impermanence. Okay, so bear in mind, and then you'll go through these events more effectively and not affected by other negative feelings. I am mid 40 now, 44, and I've been through many difficulties since when in my life. Those difficulties is so difficult I cannot even describe, because it's no one can understand. No one can appreciate the difficulties, because if you have never been into that kind of situation, it is hard to understood. And we are all individuals. We have to go through that independently. Many years I was even having no position. I have no hope to get things changed better. But I learned through my life, if I'm not giving up and just keep moving forward, somewhere or somehow things will eventually change. And that was not coming from my own intention. I only have that my vision that I wanted to live in that. I have to go for that direction. That's my vision. Okay, not my desire or my intention. I'm not trying to change the thing by myself, but I do oversight my environment, my surroundings. So I put my effort to getting better and never give up that thought. As long as you do not give up your thoughts on that, your vision, you visualize that for your future without putting effort on your daily intention. So intention is different. Like you wanted to negotiate with someone to achieve something with your own intent. So you can't kind of jumping the hoop one from another, keep manipulating the situation you have and trying to getting better. That is more having geared towards your intention. But that doesn't not go that far based on my experience. You may can change the scene, change the situation temporarily to getting better position, but you cannot change the entire dynamics of your life. It's not going to, it's not possible. So like you are navigating on the ocean, you set a direction and you moving forward. Whatever the surf is coming and goes, whatever the wave is higher or lower, it's case by case, it's day by day. You just taking it. But you are not getting lost because you already set the direction. And just moving forward. So that's my kind of 5 cents for as a side note for all of you, including myself, that don't get discouraged by any difficulties in our life, including this situation, whatever is happening this year is surreal. It is surreal to human nature, human beings, not only my experience or your experience. Everyone is going through together. So we all have to overcome it as a team, as a one society. So whatever happening right now, we observe it. We observe and take it as much as we can to looking at what human nature is capable. Sometimes it's achieving us amazing things. Sometimes go down to very lowest level. So here in this course, I already promised you not to discuss any political, perspective. So I do not want to discuss anything is right or wrong about politically correctness. I'm just giving you my input at the age of the middle-aged person who studied Buddhism for more than 25 years and went through difficulties like any other human being. Then I can tell you something that I earned by myself. Okay, so get back to our questions here from our midterm. I have one student asking this. After I was studying Buddhism and trying to practice in my daily life, I found it was very helpful to remind consciousness and be aware of mind, thought as much as possible. But sometimes I try to suggest to my loved one, such as my family and my friend, and they might not want to accept or bring the Buddha's teaching to their life. So from your experience in your daily life or an encounter in your military services, how can you teach them or convincing them to open their mind and bring Buddha's teaching to practice or exercise in their life? And if sometimes we distort the Buddha's teaching by no intention, like white lies, do you think it is okay to do or it is unacceptable? Okay, so the question is, how can you teach them or convincing others with the teaching of the Buddhism? Tell you the straight answer. No one can change someone else's mind except you show your own changes. So what that means is teaching or preaching Buddhism to others with the intention to change their life, you're going to fail. Not not you as specifically, but every one of us. If you put your effort that you wanted to change someone else's life with your own ideas, it won't work. What works is you show your, without saying anything, you show that your sincerity and show that you are constantly improving yourself from day one to moving forward. So if your loved one, if your friends, relatives, families, they will see your changes. They will see you're constantly improving yourself. And then they will ask your opinion on something of their issues. And from that point, you just giving a little bit of, like a nudge that that's what I thought. You just throw some your experiences. And that time, if they are willing to take your opinion, they are like taking a pill. It works. That's the moment the your understanding, your consciousness are connected with another consciousness, because that is the bridges built and it opened up, so the information can transfer from one to another. So information is not what I'm here saying is not the knowledge, it is the wisdom. But that is so hard to transfer from one to another unless you show your own achievement, a confidence that you're willing to change your own self. So there is a more work to do that. It's not easy to do that unless you put your own effort. So if you wanted to change someone's life, fine. But before you do that, you change yourself. And then you're influencing that. You're influencing your surroundings with your own energy, positive energy. And people will sense that. People with, we are all little senses here and there. We have 5 sense organs. Every one of a single individual is kind of sensor. So we all can detect this is the positive energy or negative energy, or this is will helping me, or it may not, helping. It may, otherwise it will be you're going to get resentments. So trust me, if you're willing to practice focusing on yourself, eventually this will like an aura. your aura of energy will influence others naturally without putting any intention. So if if I know a little bit of Buddhism and trying to convert someone to being a Buddhist, or trying to be, correct them, this is not right, this thought is, this behavior is wrong, that's very arrogant thought, I would say. That's very self-centered thought. So every one of us should not fall into that kind of the category. It is so easy to be inclined to that way if we are not carefully examine yourself. So always awaken, trying to be awake. Sometimes it happened, but trying to get back. I learned the lesson. I'm not trying to influence someone by correcting it. That this, finger, once I pointing someone, is famous, all these other three fingers are pointing to me. So it's like pointing same thing to yourself. So with retrospect yourself, looking at whatever you've seen, then the world is having a hard day tonight. The country is in chaos today, that everybody was witnessing it. Try not to point it. Before you point someone, just accept this is, like Catholics. I love Catholic have, when they have a ritual, the mass they do, this is my fault. This is my fault. There's a meaning into it. There is some very spiritual meaning that you accept the reality, accept the word, as if this is all connected. We are all connected each other. Even though this is nothing to do, it seems like it's nothing to do with all these events, but we are connected as a bigger picture. In that sense, you'll see it. You'll see this is the part of it coming from me. If I'm not good enough, that is why someone is suffering. Someone is doing ignorant thing. So you blame yourself, and you'll find some answers spiritually. So you said if sometimes we distort the Buddha's teaching by no intention, like white lies, do you think it is okay to do, or it is unacceptable? It is okay to do. And all Buddhist teachings, majority 90, I would say, this is called upaya. Upaya is a skillful teaching. What skillful teaching in Buddhism means? There is a different, everyone is in different level of understanding in spiritually. So we cannot say one truth to everyone, because everyone is different level. Some are elementary, some are in mid school, high school, college, or PhD in spiritual world, not the actual academics. So every one of us are in different level. So you cannot teach higher level to someone who just started. If you put that way, you are not skillful. That means you are not fully awakened of what you're doing. We cannot say I'm achieving a highest Buddhist level. I'm enlightened. So I'm just say out loud my enlightened status to everybody, and everybody looking at you like crazy because no one understands that level except you. For example, I'm just saying, so if you are put that kind of situation that is a wrong thing to do in Buddhist sense. So most of the Buddhist teachings are skillfully designed. So at this point, we're teaching in this way, this pattern. But if you are getting more seasons and more higher, willing to accept higher level of the teaching, the method will change, and it goes on and on. So basically, all the Buddhist teachings are somewhat, somewhat, eventually it's not, again, not permanent. It's not fixed. So it's not lying, but it's not. We have to very, carefully measured and to apply to each individual differently. And that is the wisdom into it. That is the wisdom in a sense. We're not trying to be arrogant about who you are, what you achieve, because that doesn't go nowhere. We have to go down. We have to go down to the the reality. And if you can, back to your question, if you cannot influence others, there's no meaning that you are, whether you are enlightened or not. Doesn't mean anything. You didn't go anywhere with that enlightenment. As long as you can influence others who are, you may think that lower than yourself, but you can influence them and carry them out. That's the moment it hits, and your enlightenments are affecting and changing the reality, changing the world by that moment. So whatever enlightenment is not based on your personal enlightenment, but that has to be tied with that your influence with others by naturally without any putting intention. And whatever that moment hits that's the moment of enlightenment coming from you and coming from others. It's connected, it's communicated. That's what we call enlightenment. So we're not, as a Buddhist, we're not lying, but somehow we don't have to tell too much. Sometimes you have to shut up. If you cannot shut up by and keep arguing with, in cycle with someone who doesn't understand, and you cannot let that person, you know, accept your understanding, then you should be shut your mouth up. Keep silence. Keep silence. So I'm willing to keep silence sometimes. Many times I don't speak. I maybe this course I have to speak up so that this is the most loudest time you'll see me. But most of time in my daily life, in my chaplain, my Catholic father, he doesn't see me talking that much. And when I talk, I'm trying to apply to that whatever condition I have, whatever situation I have to be fully aware, and I have to put myself into, I'm willing to put my all the effort or whatever I know I wanted to uh, transfer this or advance someone else's life. I'm just praying for that, remind myself, but without putting my personal ego or intention into it. There is a very delicate differences. So I would say Buddhism is for, it'll be go, survive by itself. We don't have to worry about, how whether Buddhism is surviving or not. It's none of our business. I'm not here to preaching Buddhism, just giving you a straight answer. We're here, it just happened. There is a conditions to we all get together. That condition is not coming from your intention or my intention. It just happened like this. And whatever happened that moment, we cherish it. We put our own all effort to wish we can communicate well. And we all getting beneficial from one to another. If you put that wishful thoughts, and that relation will grow in positive way. Otherwise, it will be died out pretty fast. So it's a good question, very good, analogies that you are question this. I'm really glad that you are having this kind of thoughts, and this is applied to every single one of us. So very thank you for raise these questions. Let me cut it out here and take a break, and I'll come back.